Now, I want you to be real with me for a second. We all had a very similar thought this week. Andre 3000 announces a brand new solo album. And then minutes later, it comes out that it's not a rap album, but an 87-minute flute instrumental record with no bars, no beats, and no bass. And a lot of people, I think, tried to pretend that they were still excited about it. But realistically, when you're hearing that one of the greatest rappers of all time is releasing his first solo project ever, and it doesn't have any rapping on it, I mean, you can't help but feel a little bit disappointed, and I did. So I put this tweet out. Didn't think much else of it, went about my day, and to be honest, started getting cooked online. Now, I don't mind getting cooked online for something I'm adamant about, but in truth, looking back at that tweet, I was wrong. And I'm going to go into it for a few different reasons. First of all, I have actually listened to the project. I listened to it this morning. There isn't a reaction. I'll go into my thoughts on it in a minute. But I just want to quickly clarify what I meant in the tweet. First of all, I think a lot of people thought that I was saying that Andre shouldn't be making an album like this. And that's not true at all, because if you know anything about me, you know I'm kind of adamant about stepping outside your comfort zone, about doing things outside of the box, about trying what feels right in your heart. So the fact that Andre 3000 didn't want to make a rap album, felt like he doesn't have anything to say that could fill a whole record. It says he's 48 years old. You can say that's irrelevant. There's rappers like Nas, older than that have a lot to say. But if Andre himself feels like he doesn't have enough to say to fill an album, that's absolutely right. And if this is what he wanted to do in the moment, that is absolutely right too. But just as I wouldn't want to watch Cristiano Ronaldo and Leo Messi do a performance in Macbeth or listen to Jackson Pollock beatboxing, it doesn't mean that I want to listen to one of the greatest artists in his field do something completely separate to that. But the other way, I think my tweet was misinterpreted, was that people thought that I just couldn't be fucked to listen to the album whatsoever. And that was disrespectful. And in truth, they're right, and it's my fault for throwing a tweet out there with so little care. Because I realised since I've sent that, and actually since I listened to the album this morning, that I have, in the 5+ years that I've been doing this, equated listening to an album with sitting here. Sitting at this desk, in front of this studio / retractable green screen, in front of the lights, with an intense amount of concentration. If you've ever done this, if you've ever tried to film a reaction, whether you're on a live stream, whether you try to make a video, whether it's something that you've done, it's very different to just listening normally. You really have to concentrate. And at moments, it's wonderful. I think hip-hop is the perfect genre for it, because it requires that level of concentration on the lyrics. It requires that level of concentration on the production. But at the same time, the thought of listening to a 90-minute instrumental album from an artist that isn't an instrumentalist by trade, while in this environment, sat with the lights on, sat concentrating, sat trying to think of something to say in the moment, oh, it sounded like hard work. And that's exactly why I didn't do that. I haven't reacted to it. But I have listened to the album. So I was wrong to say that, because I realised that I have equated listening to music, especially for the first time, understandably, with doing it like I just explained it, with doing it like that. And in many cases, that's not the way to listen to music. And it's definitely not the way to listen to this album. And so I put it on. I put it on while making my breakfast, making my coffee, eating my breakfast. Obviously, it's a long album, so it did cover quite a lot of the morning. But do you know what? It was a thoroughly pleasant time. Now, do I think there are moments where Andre 3000 goes a little bit Ross Geller with his keyboard? Yes. Do I know if this album is an example of these instruments being played well? No, I don't. I mean, I know when a guitarist is good. I know when a drummer is good. I probably know when a violinist is good. I don't know when a giant wooden flute guy is good. I mean, I don't know. It sounded fine to me. It didn't sound too complex. But what was interesting about the album is that it put me in a very pleasant and contemplative mood as I went about my day, and I actually decided, instead of what I normally do, eat my breakfast, school run, and then I'm straight at this desk working, I was like, no, I'm going to take some moment outside. It's a rare sunny day for this time of year in England. Listening to the project, took a few deep breaths outside in my garden, and if you watch, you can actually see the moment where I get distracted because I notice a massive dog shit right next to where I'm standing, so thank you for that, Arthur. Yeah, and it offered a different kind of sense of mood and contemplation for me this morning. Talking about some of the tracks specifically, I think the repetitiveness of the first track had me worried. I won't go into all the names of the tracks. The third track was big Zelda vibes, big Goron's vibe, kind of Dodongo Cavern. type of vibe, which I like. And the final track, which I will get the name of, they are crazy names. Dreams once buried beneath the dungeon floor slowly sprout into undying gardens. A 17-minute, really beautiful instrumental track, which I just thoroughly kind of lost myself in. That was the track that I was listening to outside, and then spent the 17 minutes with it. And yeah, it was actually beautiful. So it got me thinking, I need to admit when I was wrong. I do need to admit that I was wrong. I was wrong to send that tweet. I mean, I was literally wrong because I have listened to the album. And I was wrong to be blasé. Now, do I think it's the greatest instrumental album I've ever heard? No, absolutely not. And like I said, I don't even know if it's good in terms of those instruments. But what I was thinking the album was going to be was just purely one instrument by what he was saying. And there is bass in there. There is percussion in there. There are plenty of other instruments. There's piano. There's a plethora of woodwind instruments that I don't even really know what most of them are. There's moments where it sounds Japanese. There's moments where it sounds Thai. There's moments where it sounds like you are just in a spa waiting to be moved into your massage. But there are moments where it is truly beautiful. And it is also an Andre 3000 album, and that matters. Now, would I listen to this album if it wasn't by Andre 3000, if it was just by some random person who played these instruments? Absolutely not. A long time ago when I worked in video games journalism, the game Batman Arkham Asylum came out. And somebody in the office where I worked argued that if that game didn't have Batman in it, we wouldn't think it was good. And the counter-argument was, but it does have Batman in it. It is the essence of being Batman. Trying to divorce it of that is looking at the world decoupled. It's looking at the world out of context. I mean, objectively, you might be correct, you're still wrong. Gameplay is amazing. The fact you are Batman in that game means way too much to detach it. And the fact that it is Andre 3000, a man that I've been totally enamored by for years, Stankonia and Speakerbox The Love Below, two hugely influential and sort of era-defining albums for me. Back when they came out, I had them on CD, double CD for the second one, and then going and listening to the earlier work on video. So of course, Andre 3000, just somebody that I have huge admiration for. And so yeah, my tweet was a bit dickish. I don't care about that so much. I don't care about Going Cooked either. But I did look back at it and think, I don't like the way that it's been misinterpreted, and it's my fault. You know, I'm sort of 7-8 years younger than Andre, and I've definitely been having my own contemplative moments about my work and my craft, and we'll go into that in a video soon, actually. So, there we go. Hands up. New Blue Sun by Andre 3000 is a really pleasant listen. It's got me rethinking the way that I think about my listening experience and my relationship with music, and the fact that this environment that I listen in, this environment where I create videos in, is unrealistic. It's not how most people listen to music, and it can be detrimental not only to my listening experience, but also my preconceptions of music. I'm way too concerned with how long an album is because I know how much graft and how much concentration that's going to take. And these things are wrong. That's actually nothing to do with the music. So in summation, Andre 3000 should be able to do whatever he wants. Am I going to pretend that I'd rather listen to this than an Andre 3000 rapping album? Absolutely not. But sometimes in life, we have to check ourselves. Hope you enjoyed the project. Let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments. And I'll see you on the next video, all right? Peace.